I'm Harrison Graham. Here's what we got coming up on Chicago Bears now. Ryan Poles sets his expectations for Caleb Williams. What are they? We'll react to injury updates before week 1. Brett Rypien heading to the Minnesota Vikings. Bears practice squad being finalized. So got a lot of news and notes to get to here on this show. But first, I want to hear it. I want to get your score predictions in. For the next 10 days, we're asking score predictions in the comments. Who's going to win? What's the final score going to be? Bears, Titans, week 1, 10 days from now. Drop those scores down below. All right, Ryan Poles had his roster cut-down day press conference on Wednesday, and I thought he said something pretty interesting when asked about what his expectations are for Caleb Williams this year, and this is kind of just a snippet of what he said. He said, I want him to lean on the talent around him, and when the time is right, that's when you go do the special things. And I've kind of alluded to this, but I'll say it again here. Finding that balance for Caleb Williams is going to be key, is going to be important, and really among the coaches as well, finding the balance of kind of almost when to encourage him to be more aggressive and calling plays that would lend him to be more aggressive, like getting him on the move, which we saw Shane Waldron do several times in the preseason. Because Poles is right. Like, he does not need to go out there and be Superman. There is a lot of pieces on this offense this year where Caleb Williams can, just be a distributor, get the ball out to his receivers, dump it off to his backs and tight ends. Like, you got plenty of guys that can go make plays, but like any other game in the NFL, there's always going to come a moment where, hey, if you got a special quarterback, you need him to go be special. And that's kind of what I want to see. I don't want Caleb to be afraid to make a mistake. Because I feel like by the end of Justin's time in Chicago, especially like that last year in particular, like he just got he used the word himself, robotic. He was afraid to make a mistake. He wouldn't pull the trigger. Like, it's okay to throw an interception. You're a rookie quarterback in the NFL. Find the time to take those risks, but let it rip. Play within the offense. The structure's there for a reason, but what makes this guy special is what he can do that isn't taught. The off-script plays. Hey, pressure's coming. I'm bailing out, and I'm throwing a 50-yard piss missile to Cole Kmet against Buffalo in the preseason. Like, he needs to do those things. Now, doesn't need to do it 20 times a game. Doesn't need to feel like he's at USC and my defense is so bad, I got to make every play feel like it's a must score. And something he said all preseason long, he was asked, what is the number one thing you've taken away from this preseason? He said that our defense is really good. And he's got to know that in the back of his head. Like, hey, yes, I don't want him to be too safe, but it's okay to throw the ball out of bounds. Punting the ball at times is going to be fine. Balance is key, but I just hope that Waldron, Flus, Kerry Joseph, these guys are encouraging him like, hey, be you as a player. Like, you can't be someone you're not as a player. I don't want to use the Patrick Mahomes comp because they are different, but Patrick Mahomes early on was a little more aggressive than he has been the last couple of years. Last few years, he kind of learned how to be a pocket guy and distribute, get the ball out because teams kind of played two deep safeties and took away some of the explosive plays. Caleb early on, like, he's going to have to learn on the fly to be a pocket guy over years. He's obviously going to do it some early, but the first couple of years, he's probably going to be bailing out more and making plays on the move, and that's okay because that's what he's elite at right now. Over time, he'll continue to get elite, hopefully, at the other things. Then he's the full package, which is what a guy like Mahomes, Josh Allen, what they are at this point in their careers. How confident are you in Caleb Williams? Scale from 0 to 10. 0 being not at all, he sucks. 10 being extremely. For a rookie, I feel pretty good. I'm at like a 7-8, 7-9. I won't quite jump in the 8 range. We got to see it in the regular season, but I feel good about where he is. I like the vibes around this team as a whole. I'm pretty confident in Caleb Williams right now. All right, Scott Daly has officially signed to the practice squad, and we do have full clarity on the Bears practice squad, so we can kind of run through that real quick here. You guys knew about most of these guys already. These were some of the initial ones: Reed, Johnson, Carlson, Benedet, and Jake Curhan. Byron Cowart. They added Sam Roberts. That's a new one there. They cut Deshaun Mallory and Quindell Johnson. Jamry Chroma's in the mix. Micah Baskerville, Carl Jones Jr. A few more here. Reddy Stewart, Rode Torrance we knew about. Samori Toure's official now, by the way, the wide receiver coming over from Green Bay. And we mentioned Scott Daly, the long snapper, who's going to be elevated for week 1. We'll see what their plan is after week 3 because you can only elevate a player up to 3 times off the practice squad, so they'll have to open up a roster spot on the 53 eventually. Also, Chris Glazier in addition as well as an offensive line guy who can play both guard and center. We already got this. Collin. These became official earlier today, Torrey and Sam Roberts. So the clarity was that they cut Quindell Johnson and Deshaun Mallory to make room for these 2 guys. All right, we'll continue with some more news and notes on the Chicago Bears, but get yourself a hoodie, baby. This thing is absolutely fantastic. Chatsports.com/Bears hoodie. Click and shop today to get yourself one. It's on sale for a limited time only. Chatsports.com/Bears hoodie. Go ahead and check it out. Now, these injury notes were from Wednesday's practice. Thursday was more of a closed situation, but Kevin Byard was back in full action, so that was good to see. Bates was back out there. He's been dealing with the shoulder injury. He was limited, more of a ramp-up situation since he's missed a lot of time, but looks like he's tracking to be ready for week 1. Zach Pickens did not practice. Neither did Keenan Allen. Ryan Poles says Allen is fine. He was had a cleat issue the week prior, so his foot's been a little sore, but he was on the bike off to the side, should be good to go. I do think Pickens is the one to watch. I think there's a good chance he's going to miss week 1, which Adam Schefter reported with the Sam Roberts practice squad signing. He could be a guy that gets elevated for week 1 to provide interior depth there. So that is part of the thinking on that one. But other than Zach Pickens, this team's pretty healthy right now, and knock on wood, that continues because you want to have your key players available, especially early on in the season here. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have news and updates around your Chicago Bears all season long. Hit that sub button and turn on those notifications. That way you know when we go live, publish new content, updates, etc. We have you covered here on Chicago Bears Now. All right, little roster note, Brett Rypien, who I would have liked to return to the practice squad, but he was holding out for a 53-man roster opportunity elsewhere, and he got one. The Minnesota Vikings cut Jaren Hall and signed Brett Rypien as a third quarterback to their 53. And look, good for him. He had a strong preseason. If Tyson Bagent wasn't a high-level backup who doesn't cost any money, I would have been perfectly fine with him as a backup. But Bagent just has more value, and I think the Bears are just too deep on their roster to carry a third guy on their 53. Had Rypien not found a home on a 53 elsewhere, I think bringing him back on the practice squad would have been a real possibility. But I'm happy for him. This is a guy who's bounced around a lot, and I think he's worthy of being on a 53-man roster. Now, I wish it wasn't in the division, because he could provide some tidbits about what the Bears are trying to accomplish, but I think we kind of overvalue that stuff anyway. Oh, they're signing a ex-player because he can provide intel. Like, they can just change some signals. It's not that big of a deal. But, yeah, good for him. I thought he was worthy of being on a team. And, look, Sam Darnold, it wouldn't shock me at some point if Brett Rypien's playing this year for the Vikings. So we'll see how that all pans out. Obviously, Austin Reed is back on the Bears practice squad, so they do have a third guy. All right, there you have it. Today's news and notes for the Chicago Bears. We'll continue to provide you guys with updates on a daily basis. So, again, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. We'll see you guys soon. Bear down.